Welcome to Cafe Racer Garage. I am Dan, giving you the skills and inspiration that you need to build a motorcycle that you can be proud of. While I'm waiting for the tank and the tail section to come back from paint for the CB750, there's been a part that I wanted to build for this bike for some time now, so let's get into it. So everything on this bike has a nice curve to it or made of tubular pipe, but when you get to the swing arm, it always has looked unfinished to me because it just kind of has a straight cut end. So I want to fix that with a part that I've been wanting to do for some time now. If you're wondering what this little white sticker is, because I'm working on multiple bikes at a time, I like to leave little indicators to let me know things that I need to do before I take them on a shakedown ride, because this bike is so close to being taken out. I want to make sure that I do the torque setting on the nut here and also tension that chain. Make sure that wheel is running true. It's just a cool little tip to remember, because if you're only working on your bike on the weekends or you're working on multiple bikes at a time, it's just a nice reminder to not forget certain things that could be super important when you take it out for a ride. For this project, I ducked down to my local aluminium supplier and got them to cut me out 2 pieces of 6061 alloy. It looks like I'm not the only one that likes quality machines, and for a business to have a horizontal bandsaw like this, it's probably their workhorse. Even though I went down to the shop to purchase this, I think I may be able to get it out of a piece that I already have. And I'm going to save those 2 pieces for another project that I have in mind. So one critical thing I've learnt about machining so far is work holding, thinking about the part that you're making and what operations or what cuts need to be made in what order. If you cut them in the wrong order, you could potentially create yourself a heap of work trying to figure out how you're going to hold that back in the vise once you've already made those cuts to continue making the rest of the part. I guess it just takes a little bit of experience and practice to get good at it. See, it fits up pretty nicely, but where I've drawn the black line is where I was going to cut it down and round it off, but I can foresee a problem already, and I thought this may be an issue, but I wasn't sure how much of an issue. The problem that I'm having is there's such a tight tolerance just in here, so to get a socket inside there, you could do it. I just need to shave a little bit more off the side of this, so I don't know how much more I want to shave off that though. I sent a photo of this to my good friend Willis to show him the issue that I was having with it, and he came up with a really elaborate design, which is probably a little bit too elaborate. However, part of that design was 2-piece. So thanks, Willis. I'm going to take that idea and now we're going to make a 2-piece. I want to thank my friends over at Power Republic. It's a go-kart YouTube channel, and they let me borrow this rotary table because it's something that I've been thinking about getting for a while, and he had one sitting there and he said I could borrow his for a while to see if it's something that I'm going to use a lot of, and if it is, then I'll purchase my own. I've actually never used one of these before, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. Let's hope what I make doesn't end up in the scrap bin. What I'm doing here is getting the end caps to the right dimension so that they'll fit perfectly on the inside of the swing arm tube, just like the OEM ones. Now that I've done a rough cut through the center, I'm just going to mill both surfaces off so when they marry up together they're going to be a perfect fit. Before I do the final pass, I'm just going to redo my little marks that I have here. I'm going to do 1 center punch and 2 for this one so that I know which orientation and which piece goes where. It's not a big deal, but it will just make it easier when I'm trying to tap the holes for this. So I want them both to be this shape with that cut off, so let's cut this one down as well. So what I'm doing now is drilling a hole in the back of the cover piece that I'm making for a little bit of relief room for the actual tension bolt to sit. I'm going to try and go as deep as I possibly can because I need to remember that this chain is going to have to be tightened at some point, so that bolt will lengthen and shorten depending on the chain that's on it. I'm not overly excited about the design of it so far, so I'm going to try something here. I just hope I don't mess it up, because if I mess this step up, it means I have to start all over again. But what I'm doing here is I'm cutting a 3mm deep, I think it's called a pocket, all the way around, just on one side to sort of give it a bit of depth. I've set it back up in the rotary table again just to do those last few cuts. For anyone who doesn't know, a milling machine can do a ton of stuff by itself, but having a rotary table allows you to do those really nice radius cuts, either on the inside or outside. I just had a delivery from CMSNL with a few of the parts that I need to help me fix this starter system on the Yamaha Virago. I'm actually waiting for a message back from a subscriber of mine who lives fairly local to me but is currently working away, so as soon as he returns he does believe that he's got all of the parts that I need to actually put into this engine to fix this starter system. I'm really looking forward to getting the goodies from him so that I can share the process on how I'm going to fix this starter system, and then once that's done we're going to get cranking on the CB750 Yamaha Virago build. Finding the perfect center of these parts again to put them back into the rotary table took a lot longer than I first anticipated because I'm not a machinist, but I am learning a ton as I go, and we got there in the end. I'm going to use a little disc sander just to try and tidy up the inside of here where you can see some of the machining marks, and then just give it a coat of black to see what it looks like. I based the design of these end caps because I wanted to use the rotary table for this project. I would have completely changed the design had I not done that, but let me know what you think of the end result. Would you leave them on, or would you leave it standard? Leave me a comment and let me know. If you've enjoyed this video, you should definitely check out the first part that I made when I got this machine, as well as the foot pegs with the integrated tail lights.